you are a specialist in regenerative medicine. Regenerate.
Correct.
I must admit, I've been doing medicine psychiatry for a long time, but I'm fascinated by this because I don't think I really know what it is. What is regenerative medicine?
It's really the process or a system of rebuilding or regenerating cells that have been damaged or are dying. And you can use it for things like, let's say, osteoarthritis or other conditions where you've got inflammation or damage. So it's really just trying to restore or rebuild the cellular matrix that has been damaged.
Say, and how is that possible? How do we do that?
Well, there are many different types of regenerative procedures, but let's take the one that most people have heard of, which would be stem cells. Most people have heard about stem cells, but they don't really know much about how they work and what they are. So a stem cell is really the master cell of your body. Every tissue and organ system has come from a stem cell, and a stem cell is an undifferentiated cell, meaning it hasn't chosen a path for what it's going to become. So
Hmm.
what's cool about a stem cell is it can replicate itself, so it can make more of itself, or it can differentiate into whatever tissue is necessary, whether that be muscle, ligaments, bone, blood. It forms all the different types of tissue. So, that's what stem cells do. And we can utilize our own stem cells, for example, that we have in our bone marrow, and we could harvest those cells and we can use them to stimulate healing of damage that we had. Let's say your knee is worn out because, old age, or you've ran too much, or you're in military or whatever. You can take like your own cells and stimulate some regeneration of your knee to help eliminate inflammation and pain. So that's what it's one way you can utilize it, but you can use it for systemic purposes to basically take away inflammation throughout your body, which can help with pretty much every condition there is. I mean, inflammation is the root of all evil, I would say, whether it be heart disease, cancer, stroke, diabetes, obesity, you name it, there's an inflammatory base. So stem cells can be used in a wide variety of different applications. And we're seeing, more and more of, well, it's being used right now, especially for COVID, for post-COVID syndrome, where people have fibrotic tissue in their lungs from the damage, and they're using it for that, and it can help to reverse some of the scar tissue that's built up.
Huh. So a lot of different medical phrases here. So stem cells, just so people, STEM, like the stem, the root of something.
Yes.
And those are living in the bone marrow,
They're
which
they're actually in all parts of the body. I mean, we
really,
have stem cells really, we lose blood cells like that. I mean, they're always repairing themselves. So we would have something called hematopoietic stem cell, which is making more blood. Or we would have skin stem cells that are making more skin because you lose skin all the time. So the skin, the regenerative system is always working. Otherwise, we would die. Once the stem
right,
cells run out, you don't have repair anymore. So
right.
that's a constant system. All of our cells are replaced over time, depending on whether it be the brain or bone or blood. They're all replaced over time. So
And
our repair. Go ahead.
that was very controversial, wasn't it, for a long time about whether brain cells actually get replaced? Wasn't there
That's
a
true.
theory for a long time that once it's done, which never made any sense? The
And
probably
it's not true. It's not true. They're showing that neuroplasticity is real, and that our brain has the ability to regenerate itself if given the right circumstances. So yes, it can
right.
happen. They're doing studies actually right now on brain damage with regenerative procedures, and they're showing really positive results.
That's remarkable. Yeah, just so folks know, for a long time, medicine was taught, and we were all taught that once brain cells had died, they were gone forever, and there was no replacement of them. We were also taught that we only use 10% of our brain. Remember that?
Yeah.
which is the silliest thing. If you think about it, probably the most important part of our body, we would only use 10% of it. Turns out that 10% of the brain are the neurons, which is what everybody knows about, and 90% are these other really cool cells called glial cells. But we can talk about that another time. But it's really fascinating. So I'm I'm really curious more about the regenerative process, but what we do here is we have our own way of regenerating our own show, and that's our sponsors. And so our sponsors have helped us regenerate and regenerate. So let's do this. Let's take a quick commercial break and have our sponsors do some regeneration. We'll be right back with the Dr. Joe Show.
Stretch the canvas, rush with madness. Is it sadness or just a show?